Welcome back again, JJK Scholars. Now we are going to be covering one of the GOATs in this video. You guys know him. I know him. You guys definitely know him. That man, Suguru Geto. Alright. He was a GOAT to a certain point. Then he stopped being a GOAT and he kind of turned into like a questionable character, to say the least. So we're going to talk about his personality. Not a whole lot, because I got a whole video dedicated to his personality. So we're not going to talk a whole lot about it. But we're going to talk about his personality. We're going to talk about his ability, curse manipulation. We're going to talk about basically his like fights, his combat and whatnot. And then we're going to talk about maybe some decision making that he could have done to, you know, not end up where he ended up. But if you like how that sounds, follow me, subscribe. I cover anime content. Soon I'm going to start doing shorts. I don't know if I already started at this point, because I recorded this video like a couple weeks earlier before posting it. But trying to get ahead. Military life is really difficult to keep your personal life schedule like going on track. So especially like I'm going to be entering my master's program really soon. And plus I have a wife and a child. So I'm busy. So me trying to do this is, one, because I love it. Two, because, yo, some of the comments y'all leave are so meaningful to me. I really appreciate that. Other than that, Suguru Geto, let's talk about him, right? He was a student at Tokyo Jujutsu High, obviously located in Tokyo, the other sister school in Kyoto. And yeah, he was a grade 1 sorcerer when we saw him. Gojo's best friend, maybe lover. Yeah, they were super cool. He was the GOAT. He was the nicest person you could ever meet. And he went through some things. He went through some rough things. And it made him think, okay, maybe this isn't the career path for me. But instead of doing the Nanami route and going to work for the civilian sector, he ended up turning into a curse user and executed 112 people. Which, questionable. And then took out his own parents. Which, again, questionable. But you could kind of see it. Like, maybe you could kind of see his perspective. Maybe. I don't know. You tell me. I'm not going to be the judge of that. You watch that video, the Ghetto Mindset video, and you tell me at the end of that video if I made you think that what he did wasn't right, but maybe you understood him a little bit better. I have 6 valid reasons that I'm not going to go into in this video. Check that video out. 100%. Please do. Anyways, though. Yeah, so he did some questionable things, but he's a really strong sorcerer. He was a really kind person. He turned into not so the kindest person. Honestly, hold on, because he was still pretty kind. Because I understand that he was a monk in episode 0 to gather up cursed spirits, but my God, was he still, you know, taking away some bad curses from people that he 100% was helping them, like, severely in life. Like the one girl was getting essayed, dude. Come on now. You're not going to convince me that he wasn't a good dude for taking that curse away. But then, of course, like that millionaire that he was sucking dry of all his money. I mean, like he had curses constantly attacking him so that he would continuously need him. He basically made a problem only he could fix. And that's not cool. But it was a millionaire. Maybe he wasn't the nicest guy. Maybe he cheated people to get to that point. Who knows? We don't know his story. We don't know why he did that, other than the money. So, anyways, though, yeah, he uses curse manipulation. Curse manipulation, if you don't know, is the ability to subjugate curses. So, like, say I'm a special grade, right? Say you're a curse spirit, grade 3. Cool. There's a 2 or more grade difference in our levels. I can just go ahead and subjugate you, basically turn you, instead of a body, into an orb, consume said orb, and now I can summon you to fight for me whenever I want. Or I could use your curse technique. Not me specifically, but I could summon you to use your curse technique. There you go. That also being said, he went up against Toji Fushiguro back when he was young. So did Gojo. He lost. So did Gojo. Gojo won the rematch. Suguru never had to do a rematch. Thank God, because he probably would have gotten whooped again. Because of curse manipulation, he didn't die, because when you exercise, or I guess not exercise because he's not a curse spirit, when you beat somebody with curse manipulation, right? 1, he would have came back as a curse spirit 100% because he used the katana versus him, which is a non-curse tool. So he would have came back as a curse spirit. 2, when you take out a curse manipulation user, yeah, all the curses come Like they are released basically back into the world like right there and then. So and nobody really wants to deal with that. So because nobody knows that's gonna happen or what's gonna happen, they just don't try to execute you if they know better. If not, then they're just stupid and they're willing to die basically right after. That being said, curse manipulation, I mean, he had over like 6,000 curses because he had a combined of like 4,615 or something like that. I just spitballed that number. If somebody goes and watches episode 0 and I hit it on the money, give me a pat on the back and a subscription. But yeah, he used a special grade, and which he had a total of 2 special grades minimum, because he had the one that he used for his maximum technique, and he had the one that Toto exercised in the Night Parade of 100 Demons. Yeah, he's really strong, because at the end of the day, you could basically make your own army with all the cursed spirits that you could amass with curse manipulation. It's a beautiful technique because it doesn't really have a cap to how many curses you could consume, because Kenjaku, using his curse technique, was able to take in just roughly 10 million, which is insane. Because how? Just how? Especially with the time frame he had his body, like how did you what? Like what? So yeah, it's insane. But that's also why when he lost in episode 0, that he didn't. They had to basically do it for the plot, where he had to use all his cursed spirits into that maximum Uzumaki, which a maximum technique, if you don't know, a maximum technique is basically the level before a domain expansion. So domain expansion is the pinnacle of Jujutsu. Maximum technique is the next up, because maximum technique is taking whatever technique you have, and it's the best form of that technique. So him, Uzumaki, is basically a curse energy blast. If you use a semi-first grade or higher, so grade 1, so a grade 1 special grade, or a semi-first grade, obviously. If you use any of those in combination of a Uzumaki, then 1, you now can use the technique of that cursed spirit 1 time only, and 2, the beam is extremely powerful. So that's food for thought. But yeah, so curse manipulation, he could drop a curtain, he can use a maximum technique. I'm pretty sure he had a domain expansion, which you have to read into the manga, and you have to read like the between the lines of what's going on, and it's kind of complicated. I don't want to get into it, but just know that he may have a he may have a domain expansion called Womb Perfusion. We don't know what it does. The person who used it as an open domain, but that was the skill set of that person, not the actual domain expansion itself. I would assume that it summons cursed spirits continuously. That's my assumption. That's not a confirmed thing, but just know that he definitely had a domain expansion, in my opinion. Counter arguments would be, why did he have to use a cursed spirit with a simple domain versus Toji? Totally valuable argument right there. Maybe it's because, here's my argument, domain expansions target people with cursed energy, like in the domain. It's not like a Malevolent Shrine. Like, not everybody has a cursed technique that targets inanimate objects or objects without cursed energy. So his sure hit attack would never touch homeboy Toji. So that's why I'm saying he wouldn't have use his domain expansion on Toji. Also, for the sheer fact that you have to trap them within that domain. You understand that, right? Like, you understand that you have to trap that person in the domain. Toji was not standing still by no means in their fight. He was moving, bro. So yeah, he would not have captured Toji in his domain. So if he had one at that time, which I don't know if he did or not, he was a first grade sorcerer. The next year he became a special grade. I don't know if he had his domain expansion. If he did, he would never have used it, because your domain expansion basically depletes you of cursed energy, and also you can't use your innate technique after using the domain expansion for some time. Why would you give up curse manipulation for a potential to trap him, just not to trap him, and then absolutely get whooped right after that? And especially because he had a whole idea of capturing his cursed spirit, which he knew he could have, but the problem is that he couldn't do it, because a cursed spirit that is subjugated to a master, the master needs to be either A, executed, or B, give up control of that cursed spirit before somebody else could take it. That's why he couldn't take it. So that's food for thought for you guys. Yeah, Geto, he's a strong special grade sorcerer. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did rank all those special grades, so you can check out that video. I'm not gonna tell you where he landed. I'm gonna do another video of how easily special grade sorcerers could take over the entire planet. And I'm gonna tell you right now, curse manipulation, creating an army of 10 million. Yo, I don't know about you, but that's pretty hard for me to fight against because some of those cursed spirits have some abilities, some crazy abilities, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. The ability to open your own domain, that's pretty intense. Why would you need to ever open your domain if you could summon a cursed spirit that has a domain expansion? You tell me. But yeah, that's Geto basically in a nutshell without getting into his personality because that's a huge amount of like content right there and lore behind Geto, bro, because he has a lot of personality and like the lore behind Geto and his like life and everything covered in the other videos is insane. You definitely want to go check it out. But his abilities and everything are that he's got great hand-to-hand combat. He's got a great head on his shoulder when it comes to intellect and strategizing. But overall, he was defeated by Yuta, and he could have beaten Yuta if he just instead of using all of his cursed spirits and Uzumaki and betting it all on that. Because if Yuta and you tied on your blast, you were left with nothing. He still had Rika. Why would you do that? Why would you not just release all of those cursed spirits on the battlefield? Rika would have been busy, bro. You could have actually 1v1 with Yuta, and you could have actually gone serious, and you could have actually beat him. But instead, you messed around. You were teaching him shit. You were acting like this was a duel instead of like an actual fight to the death. And then once you finally got serious, you lost, bro. Like I just don't know what he was doing. So yeah, overall, Geto, he's alright. He's alright. Could have been a little bit better in his personality, but when he was younger, he was pretty chill. I respect him. He would have been a pretty cool bro, but he flipped the switch, man. He really flipped the switch on you. And then I could see why Gojo was hurt. But Gojo was a horrible best friend when you think about it. He was neglecting him, bro. He was, oh, man. Yo, that's a video on its own. How could a Gojo avoided the whole Geto switch up, bro? Come on, Gojo. Do better. But if you like the video, subscribe, like it, comment. Let me get them comments, man. Let me see them comments. Y'all be making my day feel good, man, when y'all do those comments. Share it, and you already know. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.